Hey, today we're going to be reviewing some chocolate. First off, how does it taste? That tastes great, but how does it fare against the hammer? Hello and welcome to another Bubble Squirtle Productions video, where today I'm going to be reviewing the Jakks Pacific 8-bit character set 5-pack of figures. This was released, I don't specifically remember when this was released. Hold on. It was 2017, so on the back of the box. But, this has 5 figures in it, which are 8-bit Mario, 8-bit Luigi, 8-bit Toad, 8-bit Donkey Kong, and 8-bit Link. So, without further ado, let's crack this open and see how these figures are. So the only thing you have to do to open it is just pull off this, cut off this piece of tape, and you can get access to the figures within. I've already done so. I just put them back in the box because I already had the box. And then after that, you have, just pop them out of here. Though I will say, it is incredibly obnoxious getting these out, just because they make such an annoying noise, and it makes me want to jump off of a bridge. 1 second. Alright, so I got all the figures, and one thing very cool about this box is that if you look at the back, it first has art of all 5, it has product images for all 5 figures, but also, if you look above here, they actually added these lines, just like the original NES, so they took the time to model this box after an NES, which is really cool because they have 2 other packs that include this Mario, along with this 8-bit Bowser, and an 8-bit Peach figure. So, without further ado, let's start it out with Mario. Now, I have already shown this guy in the past in my top 15 amiibo video. I compared it to the amiibo, the 2 8-bit amiibos of Mario for Mario Maker that came out in 2015. But this came out 2 years later, and it is from the front. This figure is very nice. They added multiple layers of pixels on him. They added so much. They added a lot of detail. Not as much detail as the amiibo though, because as you can see, these buttons on his overalls, if they were protruding, it probably would have made it a bit better. But he is pretty light, and the plastic doesn't really feel the best, so it does make him feel kind of cheap. Though one thing I hate about this figure and all 5 figures is that they look fine enough from the front, but if you turn them around, they're not completely sculpted. They only have the front side sculpted. Granted, this doesn't really affect them on display very much, but still, it makes it look like a cheap, kids magnet, a cheap magnet, just because of the back side. It just makes everything look so bad, and just this figure, it would have been 100 times better if they just took the time to model the whole backing, because they just cut costs. The only thing that did was cut costs. Though, granted, their legal info on this probably would have been slightly hard to put on the figure if they did not do that, but still, other things with this figure is that he stands very well, mainly because of his design, and yeah, that's basically it for Mario, so on to Luigi. Next up is the best sidekick, Luigi. Now, Luigi here, he looks like a Fire Luigi, but this was just what he looked like back then. Hashtag tweeted that out, hashtag epic gamer facts that you didn't know, number 8 will shock you. But, yeah, it's the exact same sculpt as the Mario, just painted, and of course he still has the terrible backing. So yeah, there's really not much to say on this guy. They purposefully, for example, he has his green eyes, which make no sense. They purposely made it like that, to keep true to the design, which, I really like, but yeah, he's basically just a carbon copy of Mario, so yeah, on to Toad. up is the poop boy himself, Toad. Now, I feel like, I don't know why Toad was included in this set and not Peach, because I feel like Peach would have made it a lot better, and if not Peach, maybe like an 8-bit Zelda, because Donkey Kong I'm counting as a Mario character, so it's basically just an 8-bit Mario set, plus Link, but otherwise, Toad, out of the whole set, he feels the most cheap, mainly because he's so tiny compared to the rest. He still has his terrible, backing, and I feel like they could have had, like, a lot of his mushrooms on, like, the spots on his head, maybe, like, protruding out a bit, and it just looks cheap and lazy how they didn't do that. And plus, if you look at it from the back and just the silhouette, Toad looks like he's doing a very, offensive thing with his hands, so that's cool, I guess. But yeah, you still have his, death stare grin, and there's not much to say on him, and I don't want to talk about him anymore. Stops you next guy, stops your boy, Jank Kang. Wow, this is a, very big figure, again, terrible back, though out of all the figures in this set, I definitely think that he is the best, mainly because of his size, and, I feel like the protruding parts on him were done the best with this specific figure, because, for example, they chose to, with his chest, they chose to do it, and they chose to, specifically carve out the mouth, where it's not protruding, and that makes it a lot higher quality, and he looks very accurate to what he is, stands very well, and, compared to the Bowser from earlier, he looks very nice. The two of them both go very well together, and definitely could be used on display with Mario and Luigi somehow. And maybe you could do something like a display of the original Donkey Kong with just Mario and DK, and like you could get the other the Peach that was released, and you could make like a Donkey Kong display out of it, like the girders and everything. But yeah, other than that, not really much to say on him. Most of these figures in the set follow the same basic pattern. It's just the sculpts themselves are different. Though one thing I will point out, not note out, that's stupid. If the camera will focus, be a good boy. You can't see it, but it says 2015 on Donkey Kong, and on Mario it says 2015. Luigi also says 2015. Toad is 2016, and Link is 2016. So all these figures were very old when they were first released in this pack, which I don't know why this pack was even made entirely. I mean, yeah, it was a good idea for people that don't have them to just be able to buy them all at once. But these figures have already been out for either 1 or 2 years when they were released, so it doesn't make much sense for Jakks Pacific to release them. They probably just had the idea for the NES box and was just like, okay, we have to make use of this. So yeah, there's that. On to Link. Up next is the final boy, Link. And Link, besides Donkey Kong, I would say this is the second best in the set, because again, the protruding parts on him, I feel like they were chosen the best. He still, of course, has the stupid magnet back, though one thing weird about this figure is that, like those McDonald's figures I talked about earlier, he has these, stupid, cost-cutting, little hollow hole things right here, like the McDonald's toys, like I mentioned already. And I just don't know why that was done. I mean, they could have easily just filled that in. It was probably just it was definitely for cost-cutting measures, but, like, would have been that much of a hassle just to put it in. Yeah, he's very accurate, though, one thing about all these figures is that at some points, for example here, under Link's shield, he has, camera focus, he has, There we go. He has these, this is like a line. Like, some of these, most of these, actually, they have all the parts that are different colors were sculpted differently. They're not just one sculpt that was painted. They're actually, like, multiple pieces glued together, which, looks fine, but sometimes it looks like this one the same color, and it looks really bad in most cases. So, it just, all in total, it just makes everything look way more cheap than it would otherwise. But, yeah, Link's pretty solid, and with that, that would round out the set. But, just for a bonus, and I'm bored, let's review Bowser, because why not? Bowser was not in the set. He was completely unrelated, but I had him, and the only other figure I own in this style is this prototype style Mario, which is literally the exact same as Mario and Luigi, so I'm not going to specifically go over it. It's just a black and white Mario. But otherwise, Bowser. He is very good, and out of all the figures, he's not as good as Donkey Kong, but he's almost as good as Donkey Kong. He's better than Link, just because the protruding parts make him look better because of his design, just because he's supposed to be like a spiky turtle dude. I don't know why I said dude, but, yeah, Bowser, though from the front, he looks like a donkey, and it reminds me of that one creepy Nintendo commercial. You know the one I'm talking about. Freaking scary, man. So yeah, 7 out of 10 with Bowser again. So yeah, well, that is going to conclude this terrible video about, stupid Nintendo toys that nobody cares about. If you have any ideas for future videos, feel free to leave them in the comments sections below, and yeah, you know what to do, bye or whatever.